Let me start the recording. Start with the today's session.
మీ సౌండ్ వస్తుంది బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్.
Background sound.
ఏదో వెల్డింగ్ షాప్లో వచ్చినట్టు వస్తుంది.
ఒకసారి అందరూ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసేయండి. ఇప్పుడు కూడా వస్తుంది.
నాకైతే వస్తుంది, మిగతా వాళ్ళకేమో తెలియదు.
Can someone please confirm? Everyone is getting background noise from my side, so I'll change the location. Please confirm.
Yes, Ramesh.
Yes.
Okay, let me change the location. ఏదో సౌండ్ వస్తుందట. So far we discussed about. Can someone explain what are the topics we discussed so far in the last week? We discussed about FI organization structure, a client, company code, business area. Okay. We discussed about fiscal year variant, how to create fiscal year variant. So we discussed about posting period variant. We discussed about document types and number ranges. Okay. We discussed about chart of account. Okay. So there are few more basic settings which we need to complete before creating the GL master record and doing the postings. Okay. In today's session, we'll discuss about account groups. Okay. Can someone explain to prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet account? What are all the accounts we require? Let's talk about balance sheet. In balance sheet, what are the accounts we'll mention and which side what?
Assets and liabilities.
Assets and liabilities. Okay. One side will keep assets. Let's say left side it is liabilities. Correct. Spelling is not correct. Okay. On one side it will be assets. Correct. In assets it could be stock, it could be material, land, anything. Okay. What are the liabilities? Can someone tell? It is capital and let's say net profit we used to add here, right? So let's keep net profit, capital plus net profit, and what else will be called creditors, and it will be debtors here, right? And there could be some more liabilities and some more assets will be there, correct? So in balance sheet we'll give assets and liabilities, correct? Same way we'll prepare profit and loss statement. Correct. In profit and loss statement, in which side will give expenses or losses and which side will give revenues, I mean incomes? Oh, none of you are account students. Which side will give expenses and which side will give incomes? Expenses like rent, salaries, correct? And another side we can give. Am I wrong or why no one is talking? So let's say incomes, it will be same, rent received or commission received, something. Let's say any income. Okay. So finally, if there is, what is in the P&L, what is the final thing? So if our expenses are less and incomes are more, then what we will get to which GL account will. Hmm. Can someone confirm to which GL account will do and what? In profit and loss account, ultimately it will be a net profit, or if our incomes are more and expenses are less, we'll get net profit. If our expenses are more and incomes are less, then on this side we'll get net loss. Either we'll get only one, okay, we won't get both, but since for our practice purpose I am keeping both. Anyway, we'll get any one. If you are getting net profit, we'll add to our capital. If you are getting net loss, we'll subtract from our capital. Okay, this is how the statement will be there, right? Profit and loss statement and balance sheet roughly. Okay, so what are the account groups? Accounts will be having, will be having expenses, will be having incomes, will be having assets, will be having liabilities, right? Correct or not? So to differentiate the GL accounts like expenses, incomes, assets, liabilities in SAP, we'll be using concept called account groups. Okay, definition is simple. GL account groups are used to classify the GL account, whether it is an asset or liability or expense or revenue. Okay, to classify the GL account, we'll be using this account groups in SAP, where we will classify at the time of GL account creation. Okay, let me show you in the system before going further. Let me log into SAP. Suppose let's say I'm creating one GL master data. Okay, let's say I'm creating rent. So rent fall under which one? Asset or liability or expense or revenue? Rent paid. So can someone confirm rent paid fall under?
Expense. Expense.
Correct. See, here we have an option called account group, right? So we need to decide while creating. Suppose I am creating rent GL account. Okay, if I am creating rent GL account, so I need to select whether it is an asset or expense or income or liability. Okay, so here while creating GL master record, this is a mandatory field. You need to select under which account group the GL account fall. If I am creating material account, can someone confirm any material whether it will be asset, expense or income or liability?
Expense.
Okay, what about purchases?
Expense.
What about sales?
Incomes, Ramesh.
Okay, so like that we need to decide. Okay, so what are the account groups under which the GL accounts fall under? Okay, so I'll try to get one real-time Excel. I have it. Let's see whether I can transfer it to my personal email or something. So I'll try to show you. Okay, the template, how business will provide the GL accounts to us, or else I'll take picture and try to post it in the group at the time of GL master creation. Okay, they will provide each field. They will provide the GL account number. They will provide the chart of account, company code, this account type, which account type we need to select, and what is the account group we need to provide. The short text, long text in these two fields also, these two tabs also, there are few fields. Okay, they will provide. So in which field, what value you need to give, they will provide everything. Okay, I'll try to get that Excel, or else I'll try to keep that photo in the group. Okay, don't share outside. So just keep that thing for reference. So they will provide every details. Okay, suppose if they provided in that Excel, so for 1 GL you need to select expense, for 1 GL you need to select asset, for 1 GL you need to select income, for 1 GL we need to select liability. To select that one, we need to create this account groups first, right? And map it to our company code or chart of accounts, correct? Unless it won't come here, right? If it is coming, if it is showing here, so we need to do something, correct? So in this class we'll learn about how to create account groups and how to assign to our chart of accounts. Account groups are not linked to a company code, it will be linked to our chart of accounts. Okay, because you can see there are this many tabs, right? The first tab, this is belongs to chart of account data. This rest 2 belongs to company code data. Okay, since the account groups was there in the chart of account data, we'll link this account groups to our chart of accounts. Okay, now let me go there. So I have given the path. I forgot to mention T code. Okay, I'll try to add T code here as well. That's fine. Here I have given 4 types. Now can someone confirm what are the assets? Under assets there will be again some types, right? Can someone confirm what are those? In the balance sheet, assets will be
Tangible,
there. Mhm.
tangible assets and intangible assets.
Tangible, intangible, fixed assets, current assets, it will be there, right? Correct. So what are the fixed assets and current assets? Can someone confirm what are the difference between those two?
Fixed assets are called land, building, furniture. And
Okay.
coming to
There are
these
some
cash,
there are,
bank,
hmm, cash, bank, those are all the current assets, correct? So when it comes to like definition or some understanding perspective, if any asset which will be there for more than 1 year or something, so it will be called as fixed assets. If any asset it has some liquidity less than 1 year, then we'll call that as current assets. Correct? Same case for liabilities as well, right? Okay. So when it comes to expenses, what are the types of expenses we'll be having? If anyone heard about operating expense, non-operating expenses, anyone heard about those words? Accounting students. Okay. See, why I'm asking these questions, let me explain. See, for learning purpose, we'll be creating these 4 account groups. Okay. Assets, liabilities, expenses, incomes or revenues. Okay. If you go into real-time project, okay, if you got any job, if you go into any project, then don't think that there will be only 4 account groups. Okay, I am telling you well in advance. So they will create account groups according to their own requirement. They will split assets into fixed assets, current assets, and cash account group, stock account group, because there won't be only one cash or bank GL accounts. They will be having more bank GL accounts, and stock also they will create one more account group, because there will be having n number of materials. Okay, and expenses also they will split operating expenses, non-operating expenses, and they can split liabilities also into multiple groups. Okay, it will depends. Okay, for the time being, okay, just learn these 4 account groups. Okay, assets, liabilities, expense, revenues, these are all the top main 4 account groups. Okay, in real time I am telling you well in advance, so there won't be only 4 account groups, it will be split also. I am explaining like fixed assets, current assets, bank GL account, cash or bank GL accounts, and stock accounts, and expenses operating, non-operating. So it will split. Okay, but don't worry, you no need to split first of all. Okay, the client will split and will give it to you the documents. Okay, what are all the account groups they will be having. Okay, or they will provide you the simply the chart of account number. Using the chart of account number, we can find out what are the account groups they are using or they created in the system. Okay, I'm telling you in advance, don't think that there will be only 4 account groups. For our learning purpose, we are taking the top 4 accounts will be there in SAP F5. So there will be more. Okay, the transaction code I missed here, it will be OBD4. Okay, let's go by path. We'll create these 4 account groups. Okay, and after that we'll learn what it controls and what it will do. Okay, slash and SPRO. Okay, SAP reference IMG, financial accounting global settings. So it will be ledger server document, GL accounting master data, financial accounting, no. GL account master data, GL account, GL account master data, GL account preparation, define account group. So preparations, define account group. Here you can see there is nothing called assign and all those things. There will be only one step. So let me confirm the T code. Additional info, display key, IMG activity. Okay, the last 4 characters will be our account group. You can see OBD4. Okay, if you remember OBD4 for customers and vendors, also you can remember OBD3 for vendors and OBD2 for customers. Okay, we'll discuss those account groups here. If you understand this account group, that will be simple. Okay, here we are dividing assets, liabilities, expense, revenue, right? Same way the T code will differ. OBD3, OBD2. It will be like export vendor, domestic vendor, one-time vendor. It will be for customers, it will be domestic customer, export customer, one-time customer, and there will be some other groups. Okay, it will be simple. The concept is simple. The T code also only one number will differ. Okay, let me execute this one, OBD4. Okay, now let me click on new entries. Okay, we need to give our chart of accounts here. I told you, right, account group data will be there at the chart of account level. Okay, it is not at the company code level. So we need to provide our chart of account. Okay, so that's the reason I told you guys to remember your own chart of account. Okay, whatever the chart of account you created, just remember that one. So let's say in our case I have 4 account groups, right? So let me enter for this chart of accounts so that one column will be completely filled. Okay, here account group. Here, like it is a 4 character length. Okay, like short text you can say. Okay, so I am giving first one as asset, right? So I'll give ASST. Here LIAB liabilities. Here expenses. Here revenues. Okay, I'll give here the complete name. Assets. Okay, liabilities. Here expenses. Okay, and here revenues. So for clear, we need to give our chart of account and short text for the account group and long text for the account group. Here we can give 4 character and here we need to provide the complete name of that account group. We have 4 account groups: asset, liabilities, expenses, revenues, and I'm telling you in advance, in real time it won't be only 4. Okay, maybe I'll try to put some picture in the group by today night or tomorrow. Okay, just go through the real-time account groups. Okay, I'll try to put that group. I will hide this chart of account. Only from account group it will be there. Okay, just look at those things. Okay, I'll hide this column. Okay, now if you are creating account groups, if you are creating GL account, okay, each GL account will be have one number, right? I told you, right? While in the previous class, while I was explaining chart of account, for assets will keep one star one, let's say 6 character length, 150 to 19999. Correct? Let me go into Excel and show you. Last time when we discussed about this assets liabilities, we discussed about the number range as well, right? Assets, liabilities, expenses, revenues. We discussed about number range, right? 1, I took 6 character length in the chart of account. Okay, so my GL account length will be 6 character, 150 to 159. This is my asset number range. If I create any asset GL account, it should be in this range only. If I take liabilities, it will be 250s to 259s. So if I create any liabilities GL account, it should be within this range. Correct? So if I take any expense GL, it will be 3 series to 359s. Okay, if I create any expense GL, it should be within this range. If I give any revenue, if I try to create any revenue GL, it should be within this range. Okay, here in the Excel, we are taking a decision like for asset GL, this should be the range. For liabilities, this should be the range. For expenses, this should be the range. If you are creating any expense GL with 2 series or 1 series number, then it should throw an error. That is what we are expecting. Okay, let's say the revenue. If you are creating any revenue GL, it should be within this range only. You are not supposed to use any other number range apart from this number range. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll maintain this number range here in OBD4. So system will make that functionality enabled. If you are creating any asset GL, it should be within this 1 all zeros to 1199 number range. And if you are creating any liability within this range, expense within this range, revenue within this range. Okay, clear? Any questions so far? Or else I'll save it. Okay, I am saving it. Specify interval. Why it is going there? So I went into that next column, right? So that's the reason it is giving that specify this row as well. So I closed it and I saved it. Okay, you can see now the data was saved. We need to get this pop-up. Okay, now let's try to create one GL account in chart of account level. Okay, for this RS44. Now I'll show you what it controls. Okay, don't worry about this transaction codes which I'm entering. So if I give one all zeros, 1 2 3 4 5 zeros. First of all, let me see what is the chart of account length I maintained. OB13 I maintained for RS44, right?
6 only, Ramesh.
No, for RS44 it was 7. Let me change it to 6. So whatever the length which will be there in your chart of account, right? In the account group, you need to maintain the same length. Okay. Here, if you are in the chart of account, if you are giving 7 or 8 and you are using account group 5 or 4 means that won't make any sense. Okay. So whatever the account group length, GL account number length group which you are maintaining here, for use the same number range for account groups as well. Okay. So now the length is fine. The chart of account was RS44. Okay. I am creating only GL account at the chart of account level. Okay. Not at the company code level. There are two levels. One is chart of account. One is company code. We'll discuss in detail during the GL account master creation. Okay. In SAP, this symbol means create. This symbol means change. This symbol means display. Okay. In all those cases, if you want to do any configuration anywhere, anything in the SAP, these three symbols are common. So if you already created GL account, you can display here. If you want to change already created GL, you can use this change. But here we are creating, right? I'll be creating using this create symbol. Okay, I'm getting one blank pop-up here. No PRS44 statement account type is defined for chart of account here. So this is one error. So there is one SAP standard configuration we need to do for this one. Okay, we'll do that later. I'll show you that. Okay, I'm using another chart of account. For that, the error setup is already completed. Okay, we are getting one error, right? For this chart of account, the error is not there. Okay, I fixed that error. I'll show you what that at the end of the session. Okay, so I have that one is also covered. So without doing this second configuration, you can't create any GL account. Okay, this retained earnings account I will discuss at the end of the session. Now let's see what this GL account will do. So first we need to select the GL account type. See, I am creating the asset account. One series means asset account, right? Asset account will fall under which GL account type, whether it is balance sheet. These are all the standard account types provided by SAP. Okay. Now tell me, asset fall under which one under these five?
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet. Okay. Now tell me, it fall under which account group?
Asset.
Asset. Okay. Array. For this, I maintained only number range 1000 to 2000. Okay, I don't want to get you guys confused. Okay. See, for this is a different chart of account I am using, right? RS45. Let me show you the number ranges for that RS45. You can see for RS45, this is one chart of account. For that, I have maintained number range 1000 to 2000 for assets, 2000, 2001 I given, but I'll give 2000. Here also 3000. Here also 4000. Okay. This was the length I maintained. Okay, for RS45. Now I'll try to create the GL account. So I'll give only 4 character length here and I'll click on create. Okay, let me give the GL account type balance sheet and asset, and let me give the text. Which asset I'll create first? Let's take land only. Okay, that is a short text. Okay, this is a long text. Okay, this is just for identification purpose. Let me press enter. I'm not getting any error. If you press enter, if any error will be there, it will throw you an error. Okay, let me save this GL account. Make an entry in the field group account number. The data contains error, you can't save. So it is asking to create an entry in the group chart of account number. Why it is asking to enter the field in the group chart of account number? Can someone guess why?
We maintain group chart of accounts.
Yes. Why? Because in the operational chart of accounts, we maintained group chart of account number. Okay. In the operational chart of account number, we maintained group chart of account number, right? If you maintain group chart of account number, then you need to enter group chart of account number mandatory. Okay. So that's the reason I am removing that group chart of account number. So now let me go and create. Why? Because for the time being, just understand only from the operational perspective. Okay, we'll understand the group chart of account and country specific chart of account later. Okay, I'm creating balance sheet account and I'm creating one GL land. Here also land. Okay, let me save it. Now it will save. You can see data was saved. I created one GL account. Now what I'll do was I'll give 1001. Okay, I am creating one more asset. Okay, I'll select this as a balance sheet account. Here I'll give this type as, let's say, liability. Will the system allow if I select account group liabilities for this 1001 GL account? Well,
No, Ramesh.
why it won't allow?
Why? Because GL account we given 2000 change, right?
Yes. For liability series, let me go and check what is the number range I maintained. Okay, the chart of account was RS45. Okay, now you see for expenses, I maintained 1000 to 2000. So that's the reason, even if I selected here 1001 previously as land, account group as asset, it got created. Okay, now if we select a liability, okay, it will directly throw an error. For liabilities, what is the number range we maintained? 2000 to 3000. Okay, if you want to create any liability, then you should use the number range from 2000 to 3000. If I give expense, okay, the GL account should be from 3000 to 4000. It won't allow you to create with a different number range. Okay, if you are creating any GL account in one chart of account, that chart of account will be having account groups and number ranges. Okay, if we create 5 or 6 account groups, here it will show 5 or 6 account groups because I maintained only 4, right? That's the reason here it is only showing 4. If in the real time, if you create 10 account groups, it will show all 10 here. Okay, if you are creating any GL account, it should be within this range. If you are creating any asset GL account, it should be within this range. Any expense in this range, liability in this range. You are, oh no, I want to use a different number range. This is my system, I will do. No, you can't do. It won't allow. It will throw an error like this. Okay, don't worry about this master data creation. We'll get this point. We'll learn this in the upcoming sessions. Okay, just I want you guys to understand the concept. See, what is the account group definition? So account groups are used to classify the GL account, whether it is an asset or liability or expense or revenue. Okay, what it controls? It controls number range assignment. Now we saw that how it will control the number range assignment. If you are selecting expense account group, then we need to give only number range from 3000 to 4000. Let me try that. If I give 3000, okay, if I click on create, if I select expense account group, let's say this is for expense, it is not balance sheet, it is not cash, it will be fall under this one, operating expense or operating or non-operating. Let me select this as operating, primary cost or revenue. I will select here as expense. Now it will allow or not. Can someone confirm? I'm using 3000 number range. If I select expense account group, will it allow or not? Expense 3000, allow or not?
It will allow. It will allow, Ramesh.
You can see here and confirm. Expense, what is the number range here? It is
3000 to 4000.
so it will allow or not. If I select expense, 3000 was the number which I maintained here at the top. It will allow. Okay, let me give a rent account here, rent account, some long description, and I will save it. It allowed. Okay, let's take for revenue 4000 to 5000. Okay, let me give here 4000. Okay, let me click on create. Okay, let's check this is revenue, primary cost or revenue. So if I select here, where is income? So it allowed. So if I select here asset or liability, will it allow?
No, it won't
For
allow.
asset, the number range will be 1000 to 2000. So the main advantage with this account group is it controls the number range assignment. Okay, clear with this point? And it is also simple to define. So simply go to OBD4 transaction code. Okay, enter your chart of account. Just enter the short text. Just enter the long text. Give the number range. Make sure in this chart of account what is the length you maintain. Whether it is 4 character, 5 character, 6 character. Maintain number ranges according to that only. Okay, for the time being in the chart of accounts, okay, remove the group account number. Okay, why I'm asking you guys was for the time being we are learning only from the operational chart of account perspective. Okay, if you give here group chart of account number, then you need to create a GL account first at the group chart of account level, then you need to maintain at the GL master level. Okay, that will discuss in the advanced level sessions. Okay, now for the basic perspective, just maintain only at the operational chart of account level. Remove this group chart of account number. What is the length you are maintaining here, right? The same length you maintain it in the account group, whether it is 4 or 5. Okay, clear with this account groups, and the T code was OBD4, and this is the path. Okay, and it controls number range assignment. If you are clear, I will move to this next point, field status control. What is this field status control? Any questions so far? Clear? Okay, I am taking it as no. This is You guys are clear, right?
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So we are learn about this definition, path, T code, what are the types we'll be having. So how we can maintain. So how it controls the number range assignment we have seen. The field status control. Okay. Now we'll discuss about this field status control. So what is this field status control? If you go to this OBD4 screen, okay, here we have an option called edit field status. Let me select this. We can select anyone. Okay, I'm selecting this expense account group. I'm going inside this field status. Okay, here we have some groups. Okay, control, account assignment, document entry, bank or financial interest, all those things. Okay, if I go inside this, okay, I have some option called here currency, tax category, reconciliation account, tolerance group, inflation key. I have some fields here, right? You can see, right? I will show you same fields at the time of GL master creation. Okay. For the expense, it will LQ 3001 or LQ 3000 RS45. Create. Okay, we can't use this one. So let me take any one GL account which was already created in the system. 0TM. I'm taking one GL account, guys, okay, which was already created in the system. Okay, he created few GL accounts. Let me take one expense GL account, salary account. Okay, if I go inside this control data, you can see some fields called account currency, exchange rate currency, valuation group, tax category, tolerance group, inflation key. You can see these are all the fields, right? These are all the fields at the company code level. Okay. Now you go here. You can see the same fields here. Tax categories here and tax categories in the chart of account. While in the GL master creation level, we have reconciliation account. We have reconciliation account here, and we have inflation key, tolerance group, alternate account number. These three fields are here. Alternate account number, inflation key, tolerance group are here. Correct? You can see same fields which are there in the field status of account group. Okay. In OBD4 screen, if you go to field status, okay, if you double click on any one, so you can see what are all the fields available here, right? So you can see the same fields at the time of GL master creation. What it will do, suppose if you are creating one expense GL account, okay, you don't want this tolerance group field to be displayed here. Okay, you don't want this field at all in the tolerance group. Let's take this inflation key as well. You don't want these two fields. Okay, you don't want these fields to be displayed here. Then how you can control? Or you want these two fields to be mandatory. Without giving these two fields, you can't create the GL account in expense category. Okay, that's what we control here. You can see suppress. If you select this suppress field, then what it will do, this tolerance group or inflation key will not show here. Okay, if we select here required entry, required means these two fields will become mandatory while you creating any expense account group GL account. Then without filling these two fields, system won't allow you to create a GL account. You have to give these two mandatory. And there is one thing called optional. Okay, optional means either you can give or you should not give. It's up to you. Optional, you can enter or you cannot enter. It's up to you. Okay, you if you want to enter, just give some value. If you don't want to enter, leave it. Okay, there is one thing called display. Like now you can see this is in the grayed out mode, right? it will only show in the display mode. Okay, you can't make any changes to that. Okay, while creating GL master record, okay, if you want to create any GL account, okay, if you want to control the fields, where you will control at the account group level. If you want this tolerance group or inflation Q to be suppressed, if you don't want to see these two fields, here you select these two fields as suppress. Okay, let me try this thing. Let me save it. And we maintained for this RS45. Okay, let me take for this 0TM as well, because for our chart of account we haven't completed fully, right? So that's the reason I am taking this one 0TM. This guy is expense, field status, control. I'll take this inflation key, tolerance group. Okay, I'll suppress. Okay, now let me go and create the GL account. Okay, /n fs00. Okay, what was the range he maintained? 1 second, guys. 1011. Let's take some number 1090. Create. Okay, I'll give here. This is an primary cost. I'll give. I'm creating an expense GL. Okay, account group 300 different for 2001 to 3000. Okay, let me take any number range from 2001 to 3000. Okay, let me take 2090. Click on create. Okay, I'll give here cost, and here it will be an expense GL. Can you tell someone tell any expense? Let's take salaries. Okay, I'll press enter. I'll go to this control data. Were you able to see the tolerance group inflation key fields here? Were you able to see those two fields or not?
No, Ramesh.
Data. Okay. If we go to other screen, you can see I haven't gone back here. That's the reason I can still see these two fields here. Correct. The same 0TM company code. Here also the same 0TM company code, but these two fields are not here. Okay. Now let me go and make changes in the account group level. Let's make. Okay. Let me go to the chart of account 0TM. Okay. I'm creating this expense, right? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ramesh.
You can hear it. Okay. Sorry, some network drop. Okay. Now I am going inside this expense. I am going inside this control. Let me make one as required entry. Okay. I'm making this now this inflation key tolerance group. Both fields are not showing there, right? Why? Because we suppressed it. Okay. Suppress means it won't show there. Now I am making one as required, one as suppress, one as optional. I will make this tax category as display. Okay. I am making one field as suppress, one as only required, and few are optional, and one are display. Let me save this. Okay, now I'll keep the screen as it is like this, and we'll go and do some creation there. Okay, let me go back. If you want any changes to be reflected again, you need to go back and come to the screen again. Okay, 209002M create. Okay, I'll select here cost. I'll select here account group as expense. I'll give some text salaries and salaries. Okay, short text, line text, something, because we removed group chart of account, right? So the group account number is not showing here. If you make it mandatory, it will show here. Okay, now I'm going to control data. Now you can see inflation key. Previously it is not showing. Now it is showing this tick mark. In SAP, tick mark means what I told, it is mandatory, right? See, now you can see here inflation key, what you made it as required entry. So without giving this field, will system allow you to save? No, it won't save. Correct? Tolerance group you made as suppress. That means you don't want that field to be displayed here. Was that field displayed here? No, because we are under control data. Here also we are checking under control data only. Tolerance group field is showing here? No. And what else is optional? Tax category, reconciliation account, exchange rate difference. Okay, you can see tax category is optional, no tick mark. Either you can enter or you cannot enter. Correct? And you can see currency. It was display. You can see currency is in grayed out display. You can't make any changes. Correct? Display means it will be like this. You can't make any changes. Optional means it look like this. You can enter or you cannot enter. Okay. If it is suppressed, it won't show here. That field won't at all be here. If you make as mandatory, it will give you a tick mark like this. You have to mandatory fill this field. Okay. What this account group will do, it will control the field status while creating the GL master record. Okay. Either the field should be suppress, display, required, optional. While creating the GL master record, if you want any field to be suppress, display, required, optional, you can control at the account group level. How we can control? I'll show you one more time. So go to that account group. Okay. In OBD4 screen, select whatever you want to control, select that account group, click on this field status. Okay. Under this field status, just now I shown you for one control, you can go to account management, you can control the fields here as well. Okay. You can go to document entry, you can control the fields here as well. Okay. It's up to you where you want to control, you can control from here. Okay. You need to click on this field status and double click on this one. Okay, you can make suppress, required, optional, mandatory. This is because we are using 0TM is not ours, right? So I am keeping hash this to normal entry. I don't want to disturb the other person who created this one. So I put back to the normal stage and I am coming out. So now you guys tell me, do you have any questions related to this fields? How the account group is controlling the number range, how it will control the field status? Do you guys have any questions related to these two things? So I want at least, okay, the previous sessions I know you guys are not prepared well. So now few people have prepared, few are in the phase. So now I want you guys to prepare well. Okay. What is after each class, just spend some 15 minutes to 30 minutes. You will understand everything. Simple one-line definition I am giving. GL account groups are used to classify the GL account, whether it is an asset or liability or expense or revenue. Okay. We'll be creating it in the OBD4 transaction code. Okay. It controls the number range assignment. It will control the field status group at the time of GL master creation. This much only you need to tell to an interviewer if he asks. He won't ask nothing more than this. Okay. So you know how to control that. If you are creating expense GL, you should enter the GL account number within that range only. You should not enter expense or liability number range. That's how it will control the number range. It will throw an error. Okay. If you are creating any GL master record, okay, you can control the field. Either you can make it as mandatory, you can make it as optional, you can make it as display, you can make it as suppress. That field won't show while you're creating GL master record for that account group. Clear? Okay. If anyone have any questions, you can ask. Please. Go ahead. Balaji, you raised your hand.
Yes. Can you go to PPT, the first slide?
Okay.
Here you used only 4 digits, right? Is it mandatory to use only 4 digits, or we can use any number range?
No, I told you, right? For the GL account number range, what is the maximum length I told in the previous session?
That's four. We assign four numbers.
Yes. So that's the reason we are using for. I just give here, I mean, only 4 means it doesn't always be 4. Okay. The GL account, the maximum length is 10 character. Okay. Let me show, go to OBD4. You can see here some people are using around 7 or 8 digits. Here you can see it is 7, I guess. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It won't be always 4. Okay. It will be maximum 10 and minimum should be 1. Okay, you can use 1 series or 2 series, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10. Okay, while you are maintaining the number range, go and check in your chart of account what is the length you maintained, either 4 or 5 or 6. Maintain in the same number range here. If you are maintaining there 5 series, just maintain it like 5 series. If in the chart of account the length you maintained was 6, maintain 6 series length. Okay,
Okay.
so any further questions? There is one fixed setup. Okay, I want to complete that as well today, because if you want to test right for the GL master creation, okay, so I'll put in the group. Okay, if you want to create this GL master and see how the number ranges will be controlled, all those things. Okay, just try to use. Okay, I'll try to put in the PPT and share it. Okay, just create GL chart of account level. Use this transaction code FSP0. Okay, account group OBD4. I'll try to make that PPT change and I'll share with you in some time. Account group OBD4, or else I'll share the PPT after the class itself. Okay, but I can make this, keep this thing. If you want to test or do how it controls the number range, all those things, right? Use this FSP0 and account group T code was OBD4. If you want to check that field status group, right, use the other person credential. Okay, other person credential was this one. Other guy details, like the company code was 02M. Okay, there was one guy who is already using this. Use this 0TM. Okay, and you can do the practice. If you are in my server, if you are using any different server, then you need to take a different company code, but you are using server provided by Shiva, you can use this one and you can try how it will control the number range, all those things. Okay, let me quickly finish the other thing. Okay, there is one mandatory step. Okay, there are 2 to 3 mandatory steps. Okay, which may get confused, but those are all mandatory before creating GL master record and before going further with the postings and all those things. There are few mandatory things. Okay, which we need to do in the system, out of which this retained earnings account is one among them. Retained earnings account is nothing but our net profit or net loss account. Where it will come, net profit or net loss? In P&L or in balance sheet? Where we will calculate net profit, net
P&L.
P&L, correct? If it is net profit or net loss, we'll be calculating it in the profit and loss account statement. Okay, so for net profit, net loss also there should be one GL account, right? So that's what we'll be calling it as retained earnings account. You can see the definition here. Retained earnings account is a special GL account used to carry forward the net profit or loss from where we will carry forward this net profit or net loss from P&L to the balance sheet. Correct? If you have a net profit or net loss, we'll be carry forward it to the balance sheet only, right? If it is net profit, we'll add it to our capital. If it is net loss, we'll subtract from the capital. Correct? So for that purpose, we'll be using retained earnings account. For net profit or net loss, we'll be using retained earnings account. Okay, we'll be defined it in OB53. Due to time constraint, I will directly go to OB53. Okay, this is one mandatory step. Okay, just try to see this and maintain this one. So I'll give my chart of account RS45. Okay, you need to give one key, any key. Okay, I just gave X. Okay, and give the number range starting with the liability series, the first number range starting with the liability series. Let me go to OBD for my account group. let me see what is the number range starting with liability series. Okay, just take any starting number or any middle number or any ending number, it's up to you. Okay, but I took the starting number, the 2000 series. Okay, I just maintained that 2000 here. Okay, and try to save it. It will give one warning message if you are doing for the first time. Okay, so that GL account 2000 is not created, it will give some warning message, ignore that and save it. Okay, this is one mandatory step. Just try to finish this one as well before going proceed further. I gave here one note: use any GL account that falls under liability series. Okay, and later once everything is ready, we can create that GL account. Now can someone tell me, I created this 2000 GL account or not? I haven't created. Okay, without performing this reconciliation step, it won't allow you to create a GL account itself. Okay, but SAP has made this configuration mandatory before you create any GL account. Okay, that's the reason you give any identification key here, 1 or 2 character, not more than 2. XR, you can give RS, AB, CD. You can give any one identification key and give the GL account which is there in your liabilities side. Okay, what is my liability series here? 2000 to 3000. So I took 2000. I just maintained it here. This is one mandatory step. Okay, just try to remember this definition. Definition is simple. Okay, retained earnings account is a special GL account used to carry forward the net profit or net loss from P&L to balance sheet. If you are an accounting student, you can easily remember this definition. Even if you can't remember also, you can tell that retained earnings account is used to carry forward the net profit or loss from P&L to balance sheet. Okay, where we'll maintain in OB 53. Okay, what you need to give in OB 53? Any 1 or 2 character identification key and any number range in the liability series. In the liability series, we need to give. Why? Because if it is net profit or net loss, we'll be maintaining in net liability side only, right? In the balance sheet, next to capital only, we'll be maintaining this net profit or net loss, right? Where I went? 1 second. Here, net profit or net loss will be maintaining here only, right? Okay, if it is net profit, we'll add to capital. If it is net loss, we'll subtract from capital, right? So that's the reason I'm asking you guys to take any number range from liability series. Try to take the first number and try to maintain it here. It will give you one warning message, okay, saying that the 2000 GL account is not created. No worries, just press enter and save it. Okay, once everything is ready, we can create this GL account later, that net profit account or retained earnings account. We can create it later. Okay, now it's open to you guys. Any questions you can ask. Account group and retained earnings account. Any doubts? No doubts, all good. So I'll repeat one more time how I want you guys to prepare for today. Okay, let's take GL. If someone asks what is account group, you need to tell GL account groups are used to classify the GL account, whether it is an asset or liability or expense or revenue. Okay, we'll be creating the GL account groups in OBD4 transaction code. Okay, it controls the number range assignment. Okay, and also it controls the field status at the time of GL master creation. If you want the field to be suppressed display required optional, we can define at account group level. It will control the field status at the time of GL master creation. If you are creating GL master, it will control the field status. Okay, I want you guys to prepare like this simple way. Okay, and also go to OBD4, maintain the number ranges. Okay, don't, if you want to test this number range assignment, whether you, for asset, if you give liabilities number ranges, it will allow or not. If you want to do that kind of testing, so you need to perform one more step. Okay, that is retained earnings step, retained earnings account step. For this also, it is simple. Retained earnings account is used to carry forward the net profit or loss from P&L statement to balance sheet account. We'll be maintaining it in OB53 transaction code. We'll give any 1 or 2 character identification key, okay, and we'll be giving any one liabilities number range number here. Simple. I want you guys to prepare like this. Do this configuration multiple times. That's the reason I asked you guys to create 2 to 3 chart of accounts, so that you can create 2 to 3 account groups, 2 to 3 this retained earnings account. So it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. Prepare like this for today. Going forward, you need to prepare like this on daily basis. How much time will it make? Just to remember 2 lines here and 1 line here. If you are already an accounting student, it will be very simple. You don't need to learn this one as well. After hearing this class itself, you should come to know. We'll carry forward the net profit or loss from P&L to balance sheet. That's what written here. Initially, there is one thing. Retained earnings account is a special GL. Use it to carry forward. That's what written here. Okay. I only told 2 transaction codes today. OB53 for this retained earnings account mapping. Okay. We need to take any liability series. Okay. It will give you an error. Sorry, warning message. Ignore that. Try to save it. Once everything is ready, we'll create this retained earnings account. Okay. That 2000 series. And here I told you only one T code, OBD4. And I told you one definition and 2 words here, not the sentences or statements here. 2 words I can say. Number range assignment, field status control. That's it. Okay. Clear? Any doubts?
Bro, in real time, client will provide us the data about the account groups and GL account.
Yes, correct. They will provide here. We are maintaining number range, right? For what are the account groups will be having, what are the number range. Just now we took 4 account groups, right? Assets, liabilities, revenues, and expenses, right? So in real time, they will provide us. So what are the account groups will be having? They will provide this name as well. And this for assets, what is the number range you need to maintain? They will provide everything. We need to maintain in the same way.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. So they will provide everything. That we call that as, there are different names: business blueprint document, business process document, configuration document. There are so many words for that. Okay, that will cover in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so in that document they will provide everything: what company codes you need to create, what description, what address, what fiscal year variant we need to follow, what posting period variant we need to give, how many special periods we need to maintain. Okay, what are the number ranges we need to maintain for document types. Okay, everything they will provide. Any further questions? Okay, if no questions, we can drop off. We can meet in tomorrow's session. Okay. Vinod?